serving, stand about here, right? This is what volleyball's about. 1, 2, back!
Pat Hennelly's developed a number of top volleyball players and student athletes, but what many people don't know is that he's also had a connection with no less than 6 others who are involved in coaching the sport at the Canada West level.
I guess it's a little bit of a mini legacy for the program as well, and you guys come here and have a chance to move on to jobs they want to do and careers they want to pursue. And
all 6 have worked under Hennelly at one point. Chad GRIMM worked with the men's program for 8 years before moving to take over the women's team.
I always thought Chad had a great temperament for coaching, and we worked really well together. You know, he's a little bit more, I guess, quiet and you know, sort of even-keeled. So I thought, you know, at that point in my coaching career, Chad was a great assistant coach for me.
The great thing was he gave me a lot of opportunity. He would get me to help him run some stuff and some fundraising stuff and give me chances to coach in games and take over the team for some preseason stuff. So I think you were given the chance to kind of model your craft a little bit and then felt comfortable going into different situations with other programs.
Mike Hawkins was a player with the Wolfpack for 2 seasons before moving into an assistant's role. Since then, he's coached in college, came back to TRU to be an interim head coach when Hennelly took a sabbatical in 2016. And then, after a stint with UBCO as an assistant, he's now running the program at UBC.
Like, Pat and I definitely have different personalities, but I think that's a good thing. Like, I think it's important to learn from people who have different perspectives and different opinions, and I think that made me a much better coach because I knew how I wanted to be with people, I knew how I wanted to coach, but then he gave me a different perspective, and I don't think in coaching that there's one perfect way to do it, like one perfect science.
Hawkins' assistant now at UBC is a former player and assistant with the Pack, Matt KRUEGER, who's always wanted to coach, and he says he got encouragement from Hennelly as his playing days were winding up.
Pat's a very intense coach, which is good for me to know. All that, like, he works 24/7. He's always on the ball. The hard work is a big thing with him, so that really helped me out along the way. It's not just you show up at the gym and all of a sudden you're ready to coach. There's lots of stuff behind the scenes that no one really notices that goes into coaching as well, and that was the biggest thing that I learned from Pat.
Nathan Bennett worked almost 4 years in the volleyball department at TRU. He was an assistant to both Hennelly and Chad GRIMM for a year before focusing strictly with the women's program for 3 seasons. Bennett fulfilled a lifelong dream when he was named the head coach of the Saskatchewan Huskies earlier this year.
I think what TRU does is give people opportunity, and when these quality people get the opportunity that they have, they run with it.
Current women's assistant coach Belul Yavasgel is a former player and helped with the men's program, while Drew Venables, a former star at the Old University College of the Caribou, is working with both teams this year, his second go-round with the men's team with Hennelly. They may be spread out across Western Canada, but the common ties of a love for the sport and their association with the TRU men's program have bonded them for life.
And it's always nice to see those guys. It's nice to see them lead other programs, and but when we come back and get together, we have some commonalities and some history, and we can talk about TRU. And I mean, I coached Hawkins, I coached KRUEGER, I coached Belul, and then I coached with those guys as well. So it was kind of full circle with a lot of those guys.
Yeah, we get to talk a little bit about the on-court and off-court struggles, and I'm sure, you know, with Nathan and Mike, we're going to be at, you know, these big recruiting tournaments, you know, when the season's over, and that's when a lot of coaches get together. And absolutely, we're going to cross paths, and I think, you know, we'd like to offer out to Mike and Nathan just any help I can. And as we start out as a first-year coach, there's a lot of stuff on your plate, and there's a lot of things to think about.
When they meet across the court, does friendship and past history go to the side for a 2-hour period?
As much as we definitely have relationships, I think everyone that gets into coaching's got a little bit of an alpha mentality, and they want to win. So I have nothing but respect for the time those guys put in here, and the fact that they're out, you know, trying to lead their own programs. We get to talk about common problems, and you know, one of the things we want guys to want is to come back here and to feel like they're still part of the Wolfpack program.